Clearly, I'm in a different space. The studio's being renovated, so I gotta do shit from my dining room. Dinner's being made, and people are looking at me weird. But it's all good though, because I'm bringing you 5 fragrances that I feel are strong and sexy, just like, well, let's roll my motherfucking music so I can put you onto these 5 fragrances that are absolute bangers. Sexy motherfucker. Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. Do you know how awkward it is to record a fragrance video in your dining room with fucking lighting that sucks? But I love making content, and that's what I'm doing, making content. And making content about these sexy ass fragrances is important for your livelihood, because these fragrances are not only strong as fuck off of my skin, but they're beautifully sexy fragrances that I feel are absolutely stellar for autumn and winter. So these are 5 fragrances that I highly recommend that you at least sample, and they are in no particular order. So the first one I'm just gonna snatch up is the Spicy King of the World. That's a big claim, but it is a beautifully spicy fragrance that has nothing but masculinity and sex appeal dripping all over its chesticles, and that's Creed's Royal Oud. Creed's Royal Oud is sick. Many have tried to copy its spicy sexiness, but they shall not succeed. The power that this produces off of my skin is at least 8 hours, but with a scent cloud of delicious oudy spiciness that will draw in any cougar in a 40-yard radius. I'm telling you, if you're looking for old lady draws, this will get it for you. And if you're looking for young chicks too, you can get that. But I'm telling you, old lady draws with a lot of money that will put you in their will before they keel over, this will do it. Next one. The next fragrance, I mean, the house I've mentioned in at least 3 or 4 videos, they better cut the check. But it's actually a super sexy James Bondish superhero protagonist in a movie. This is by Marc-Antoine Barrios, and this one is B683. Gentlemanly, sexy, super Middle Eastern spices with like a chili pepper kind of vibe, violet leaf, and a bit of a Coca-Cola Pepsi kind of vibe. So essentially what all those notes mean is sexy, beastly. This one gives me about, at this point, I want to say about 8.59 hours off of my skin, but this is pure gentlemanly sexiness. So this is something that I feel should be the 27 plus fragrance, but this is all suit, long wool coat, beautiful brim hat, thick scarf, sexy fall and winter that will absolutely exude juices all over the opposite sex or same sex, whatever sex, as long as you get sex. B683, delicious, strong, sexy. Next one. This one is a newer acquisition, but not a new fragrance to me because I've had a couple of samples. This is by the house of Frederic Malle, and that's Promise. Oud rose with a crisp, sweet, fruity apple, juiciness, oud with brightness. So oud generally has balls, big elephantitis sac that performs super well. This one hits me for about 10 hours off of my skin. I don't go crazy on this shit with the trigger because it's just a little bit too much sometimes. So a couple of sprays goes a long way. This is a beautiful, very wearable oud that produces a strong, sexy, airy, and fresh rose. Now rose, I've mentioned, has a very polarizing effect on a lot of people. Some people it smells geriatric, other people it smells absolutely gorgeous. For me, this is one of the ones that you can step into a rose fragrance spending money, but get some fucking power and sexiness out of it. Very masculine, very sexy, very strong. Might be expensive. Next one. And speaking of expensive, this motherfucker just says Roja on it. So you already know you gotta cut the check. This one is Creation E by Roja. Another one with that soda pop vibe. Strong, leathery, sexy fragrance that gives me about another 8.5 hours off of my skin, but I can't help to enjoy the gingery tobacco booziness that's in this fragrance. For me, the opening is a little bit challenging on this fragrance, but mid and dry down is where this shines, and shines crazy. Luxury, sexy, fall, autumn, winter staple piece. For those with bread, you gotta check on Creation E. next one. The next one was Love at First Sniff, and when I saw the notes saying plum, if you're a follower of my channel for the last X amount of years, you know how much I love plum. Amaroud's Eau de Jour. Oh my God. Scent of the day. Juicy, delicious plum. You got this raspberry sweetness, peppery oud, rose, some incensey vibes. This one also hits me about 9-hour mark on my skin, and hopefully I won't get yelled at because I just sprayed this in the dining room and somebody's looking at me to kill me. So Amaroud Eau de Jour, just get it. Next one. I said 5 fragrances, but I'm throwing an honorable mention in there. I'm just gonna mention this real quick. I've said it in a couple of videos, and if I keep repeating the fragrance, that means I love the fragrance because it just hits that good. This is going to be a tough fragrance for you to find. That's probably why it's not on the top 5, but I have to put it in there because strength, power, autumn, fall, sexy, deep, dark, delicious, compliment getting by the House of Orisha, and that's Persepolis. Ambery, sexy, fucking beast, 9+ hours, just a stellar fragrance. Just saying. And these are 6 fragrances that are strong and sexy staple pieces that I highly encourage you to test out. I love y'all motherfuckers from the heart for putting up with this video with horrible lighting in the middle of a dining room. There's sazon and spices all over the fucking air. But I'm here to entertain y'all and entertain myself. I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know what is biggest in the game? Smooches.
Cubaknow, what's fresh, who's best? One of them's gonna pass the test.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, molar roller, start attack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would